Hello everyone, this is KD here. This is the second part, that is part 2 of the series Figure of Speech. So watch this video attentively and properly. Happy digital learning. Now we are going to see what is personification. Personification is also one figure of speech which is very important in literature. Personification is the human qualities are given to animals and objects. Let's see the personification definition and examples. Personification is the process of giving objects or animals human-like characteristics. Personification is a kind of metaphor in which a non-human thing or quality is talked about as if it were human. The angry, brooding storm clouds pelted me with their disapproval. This was the example. This is the example of personification. The angry, brooding storm clouds pelted me with their disapproval. Here, angry, clouds, storm. Here, storm and clouds has been personified. Let's see here. Let's see the definition of personification. A non-human inanimate object, idea, or animal is given human characteristics. This may be called personification. That's why it is in personification is a non-human inanimate object, idea, or animal which is given human characteristics. For example, the low clouds bumped into the mountain. Here, clouds has been personified. Then, when I was hiking the cactus, you can write anything in this blank. When I was hiking the cactus, poke me, or the cactus brood down, anything. So this was the example of personification also. Now, let's see in details what is personification. Now you already have a rough idea what is personification. When we take any non-living object as a human, it is called personification. But it is not as easy. In a very exaggerate way, we can say personification is when human characteristics are attributed to an inanimate object. Inanimate means non-living object. It is used to convey the meaning that an item or thing has performed an action, when in reality it has not. This type of figurative language is used as a literary device in order to make a piece of writing more vivid and descriptive. It is also used in order to better assist the reader in understanding the text and can make a piece of writing more original and unique in its nature. It is often used in the way of a metaphor and gives object emotions, speech, gestures, or desires. So, this is what actually personification is. I hope you have understood what personification is actually. Now I am going to show you some examples of personification. The moon was resting in the midnight sky. In this example, the moon has been personified. Here, the moon is taken as a human being which is resting in the midnight sky. As human rest, like that, here moon is also resting. So this was an example of personification. Now let's see the another example. The flame of the candle dance in the dark. Here, the flame of the candle, the flame has been personified because it is dancing in the dark. As human being dance, in joy, in happy, or in any occasion, like that in this example, the flame is dancing. You must have seen the candle flames just move here and there. It seems like as it is dancing. So here, the flame has been personified. Here another example of personification we can see. The brutal wind bullied the tree into giving up its autumn leaves. Here, the wind and the tree has been personified. As like the brutal human, here the wind is brutal, which is bullying the tree for giving up its leaves in autumn during autumn. We all know that during autumn trees shed the leaves. That is why the wind is bullying the tree by saying, now you shed up your leaf, giving up your autumn leaves. So here wind and tree has been personified. Here another example of personification. Let's check it out. The lonely lighthouse vigilantly shined its light to warn ships away from its rocky coast. Here, the lonely lighthouse, the lighthouse is personified and the ships has been personified. That's mean here lighthouse is warning the ship. Don't come near. It is a rocky coast. It may be harmful for you. So don't come near the coast near me. Here the lighthouse is saying something to the ship. So here lighthouse and ships have been personified. Let's see some more examples of personification for your better understanding. Let's see here some more example. Pay attention. The car dances across the icy road. Here, the car is personified. Next, the angry clouds march across the sky. Here, the clouds are personified. Third sentence, the stars in the clear night sky winked at me. Here, the stars is winking. So here the stars are personified. Fourth sentence, the tulips nodded their heads in the breeze. Here the tulips are personified. They are nodding their heads. Now see this personification example in this fantastic poem. Let's read out this poem for you. Mr. Sun wakes up at dawn, puts his golden slippers on, climbs the summer sky at noon, trading places with the moon. This poem by J. Patrick Lewis is a perfect example of personification. Here the sun is, Mr. Sun is personified here, which is waking up and puts his golden slippers. As after getting up from the bed, we put our slipper, we put on our slipper and go somewhere, or bathroom or anywhere. So like that here the sun got up and put on its slippers. This shows that the sun has been personified. Now let's see what is a metaphor. You must have heard about this figure of speech before, but I'm going to explain what is a metaphor. Let's see here what is a metaphor. A metaphor states one thing is something else. It is a comparison, but it does not use like or as to make the comparison. For example, her hair is silk. You are my sunshine. That means as silk is very fine and very smooth, like that the hair is also smooth and silky. Like sunshine brings hopes and joy to anybody's life, like that when we are happy with someone, we refer him or her with sunshine. So here, you are my sunshine has been referred to the hair. The hair is so silk, and you are my sunshine, that means shining like sunshine. So here hair is personified. Metaphor. What is a metaphor? A metaphor is a figure of speech that compares two things by saying one thing is the other thing. But remember, without using like or as, like similes. So metaphor look like similes, but it is not a simile. Okay. Now let's see again what metaphor is. A metaphor compares one item with another by saying that it is the other item. For example, your room is a pigsty. Pigsty means your room is so dirty, it means your room is a pigsty. It's comparing. The room is being compared with pigsty. Why? The real meaning is your room is so dirty and smelly that it is like a pigsty. That is why your room is a pigsty. The metaphor has been used here. Metaphor. So a metaphor is a figure of speech, you already know, that compares one thing to another thing. Metaphors do not use the words like or as. Remember, similes use the word like and as, but metaphor do not use the word like or as. Examples you can see. The camphor is a snug bug in a rug. So what is a camphor? It is just as a snug bug in a rug. It has been compared with the snug bug, the camphor. Next, the baby is a cute button. Baby has been compared with cute button. That's when the baby is so cute. So here baby is a cute button. So cute button is a metaphor. The students are busy bees. Here busy bees are metaphor because busy bee has been utilized for students. And the last example, the birthday boy is a happy lark. Happy lark is a metaphor because it is comparing the birthday boy. Okay, I hope you have understood what is a metaphor, but still I am going to give on continuing with giving example as well as explaining it. Metaphor, an example of figurative language, that is language that is not to be taken literally. It is a comparison in which one thing is said to be another. And it is like a simile without using like or as in the comparison. So this was all what actually metaphor. Now I'm going to tell you in detail what is a metaphor. See on the screen, you can see what is a metaphor. A metaphor is a form of figurative language. A metaphor is a rhetorical device in which an object, idea, or situation is referred to directly as something it is not. It moves away from referring to something in a literal sense and refers to it as something else in order to create a more imaginative figure of speech and description of something. When used as a literary device, a metaphor can add a more detailed and complex description to something, giving the reader a more in-depth experience. A metaphor is more easily able to convey an idea or an emotion than by simply using a literal statement. So you must have understood what is actually metaphor. Now let's see the differences between a simile and a metaphor. Pay attention, keep on watching the video and understand properly. Simile versus metaphor. What is the difference? Let's see. Two of the most famous methods that work very well are similes and metaphors in figure of speech. Both of them are widely used by writers to create mental images for their readers and make their text more lively and interesting. Let's see the difference in uses. Similes in uses. When you use a simile, you say that something is like or as something else. Metaphor uses. When you paint a picture by saying that something is something else, you use a metaphor. And one more difference you know as already, that simile uses as or like, but metaphor does not use as or like. Okay, so I hope you have understood the difference between simile and metaphor and your concept is clear. Here also you can see the difference between simile and metaphor. Simile, it is a comparison of two different things using the words like or as. And whereas on other hand, metaphor is a comparison of two different things that does not use the words like or as. Examples, difference in example also we can see. Example of similes. On a first day of school, Ian was as cool as a cucumber. As cool as a cucumber, this is simile. And metaphor example. Noel has a heart of a lion. That means Noel has a heart like an animal, like lion. So it was metaphor example. I hope you understood the difference between simile and metaphor. Now let's see what is a metaphor. What is a hyperbole? Let's see what is a hyperbole. We are going to see what is a hyperbole. Hyperbole is also very interesting figure of speech, which generally used in literature by great authors and writers. Let's see what is a hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech that uses incredible exaggeration or overstatement for effect. Hyperbole means intentionally exaggerated figures of speech. They are used for human and emphasis. Hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech that uses exaggeration to express a strong emotion, to make a point, or to evoke humor. An extravagant statement or figure of speech not intended to be taken literally. Let's see what is hyperbole in detail. In short, hyperbole is a statement which has been exaggerated. It is used to overstate a situation and is not intended to be taken literally. Hyperbole may be used in a figurative language to overexpress what someone is saying. In such an example as I almost died from laughter, the speaker did not literally almost die, but using this hyperbole, they are expressing that they laughed a great deal. Hyperbole can also be used as a rhetoric device. In this type of use, you might see a phrase such as, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself." In this example, the speaker is exaggerating how fearful people should be or are. So I hope all of you have understood personification. I hope you have understood what is personification, metaphor, and hyperbole. So keep on watching my video, keep on understanding it. Happy digital learning. Goodbye. Take care.